This is a little intro into crow style poi. So crow style poi is what you do when you are spinning puppy hammer in a captured mode. This is just from the most popular one and the most stable crow style position. This is a backside positive positive. So when you start getting into crow style poi, a lot of the concept is spinning it without your hands. There's a lot of contact spinning where you're doing stuff with your elbows and your shoulders and stuff. So when you're spinning normal poi, you're going up, down, up, down, up, down, or just up, down, same time, split time, but you're going up and down to keep the spin happening. So when you start to get into the contact spins, you're doing the up, down with your elbows, or you're doing up, down with your shoulder, right? So there's a total of 4 different ways you can spin crow style without any hands. And that's going to be forwards in reverse elbow, so that's 2, and then forwards in reverse shoulder, so that'll be 2 more, so 4. And then you can do different combinations between the 2 sides, so you could do opposite direction elbows. You could do opposite direction shoulders, and then same time shoulders, same time elbows, or split time, same direction, sorry, not same time. And then you got the reverses, which are always really hard. Once you can do just poi a little bit, enough to do, maybe some weaves and like some reels and stuff, maybe some spins, then that's really all you really need to start doing elbows. And when you start doing elbows, the first one you want to really learn is this weaving one, this 2-beat split time reel thing. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing figure eights with each of my elbow. So I'm going like when I'm doing this with poi from my hands, I'm drawing figure eights on each side so I can get this, like you're just like that, but with your elbow now. So you want to obviously do one, because if you can't do one, you can't do both. Then you want to do your non-dominant one, and then you want to try doing both at the same time. Well, in a split time, but at the same time they're spinning together. That's a good beginner one. Another good beginner one is this pendulum one, where you just sort of pendulum this one with your elbow, and then you want to weave this one in the opposite times of this one so they don't hit. And that's a good transition move, because this can get you into like a lot of different kinds of things. Like it can get you into this, can get you into this, for example. So your opposites and your splits. It was easier for me to learn opposites from elbows first, but long term it's going to help you learn to get splits, because that's going to get you some better transitions for some next things that you can do. Because opposites are really hard. It's kind of really hard to move into opposites when you're just starting. Although you can, don't let me stop you from trying it. Just add it to your repertoire of things you can do. Then the next obvious move would be to start doing shoulders. Reverse shoulders are the hardest. Forward shoulders are pretty easy, because you can just put your hand out in reverse shoulder and forward shoulders and just let it hit your hand to capture it. But reverse, how to get it back to a poise, you have to put your arm out, get it into an elbow, and then you can easily grab it. Which is weird, because you have to kind of follow it up with your arm and wrap it around it while it's spinning. So get it into my elbow and then into my hand, and then you can eventually do that really fast, so it just looks like this. But once you can really start capturing in and out of shoulder a lot easier, where you can grab it whether or not it's forwards or reverse. Probably going to be forwards though, but I wanted to cover how to get in and out of reverse. Whew. So when you're spinning in reverse and you capture it, you want to try and then you can start getting patterns, capture and release patterns where you can be spinning, release, capture it. You can do these behind the back ones where you throw it into an elbow. These ones are some good beginner ones. You can just start doing one. Then do the other. Things like that. This is like gonna be you starting to build patterns with the crow style poi, because at first it's like, how do I really add that to a poi? Like, I'm doing poi and this is what I know how to do, like I know how to spin it from my hands. Well, then you just start getting transitions in and out of grabbing it in and out of your patterns, just letting go at any time and figuring out when and where you can let go, what you have to do. The best times to let go is when your hands are out extended, because then it unwraps very well. You don't really want to try and throw it from right here, because you're going to throw it when it unwraps and it's going to be jerky and it's not going to like flow as well. So you want to make sure you have extensions flow out really nicely. Or if you kind of have it behind the back, you don't really have to extend that much because it's pretty taut when you spin behind your back, so you can do these ones pretty well. If you do these ones down here, these ones down here are usually my go-to because they're really easy. It's really hard to release up here, but it's possible. It's very patterny to release on the sides because you can get these side beats and start doing them. That's all I got for an intro.